So you just got the new Conquer trainer and it looks awesome. You've pulled it out, unwrapped it, and now what? Well, you need a bike. Any bike will do that has a quick release rear wheel. What you need to do is you need to take the stock quick release lever that comes on whatever bike you choose. You need to take it completely out of the rear wheel. Keep it together for assembly purposes. Thank you. Take our Conquer skewer. It has to be our special one to fit into the cups that are on this trainer. Unscrew it all the way. Take your spring off. Push your other spring all the way back. The lever always goes on the left side, or the non-drive side, the side that doesn't have the chainring crank on it. Put your skewer in. Put your spring with the cone facing outward. Put the skewer cap on. Tighten it down. Bring it back over to the trainer. Get it in the neighborhood. Adjust your mag resistor. You're probably gonna have to screw it out a lot more than this one. I kind of cheated and pre-adjusted a little bit, but I still have to screw out a lot. You want to give it a little extra room to get the actual wheel on there once you start putting it up in the cups. Unscrew your adjuster cups all the way out. And screw it back in. Now, you know it's not going to work if you put it in the wrong way. The cups are sized so that they'll fit the quick release if it's facing the right way. If something's wrong, don't force it. You know, just take your time, step back, pull everything apart and look at it. We have these safety lock features, where once you find the right setting, you lock it back in. That way when you're down in the drops, pedaling like a madman, you don't fall off the trainer. Adjust your mag so that you have proper pressure on the back wheel. And if done right, it should sound like this. And you should have a good noticeable amount of resistance pedaling or trying it out with your hand before you actually get on it. Included with the trainer is our Conquer wheel chock. Simply lift up the front wheel, slide the chock in, set it down, and now you're level as if you're riding on the road.
This video will show you how to set your bike up on a Conquer indoor cycling trainer. If we look closely at the trainer, the side where the nut goes, or the right side, the chain side, the bracket here is actually beveled. Again, it is the shape of the nut of the provided skewer. That's why you definitely want to use the provided skewer, because it will hold it securely. And the other side, it is just a wider opening which holds the other side. So again, this is number one reason why we want to use the provided skewer. First, remove the skewer from the bicycle and replace it with the provided skewer. It's always easiest to do this while the bike is on the floor. This way it makes sure the axle stays in the dropout. I'm going to remove this skewer. I took the nut off the one side and I will replace it. The skewer that is provided is steel and it is designed to fit. into the trainer itself. So I'm going to slide that in. The lever side always goes on the left side of the bike and the nut side on the right. And again, if you do this while the bike is on the ground, you will keep the dropouts. Keep the axle in the dropouts. Tight one side and then flip it back. I'm going to hold the nut side and tighten the lever side. And I want my lever to be nice and tight. And we also want it to be in this position here with the lever towards the front of the bike. So if you have some tension here, you could just turn the nut side tight a little bit and then flip it back. What we also want to do before we start is make sure we loosen the tension knob on the resistance unit. This way it will allow our tire to clear it, as well as we'll loosen these back. Some of the knobs may look a little different on your trainer, but all the trainers use the same principle of securing the bike to the trainer. I'm going to lift the bike into the center of the trainer. I'm going to bring the nut side into the coupler on the trainer first, and then I will start to adjust this nut side until the tire is looking centered on the roller. It doesn't have to be dead center, but as close as possible. And then I will lock it into place. Now I'll come over to the left side, and again we want to bring the coupler over to meet the skewer and make sure that it's seated nicely in the skewer. And on this side you really want to tighten up good. You can check the tightness of it by making sure that the bike itself will not wiggle within the coupler. And once it feels firm and secure, then you will lock that one into place. Before we bring the roller up to the tire, you always want to make sure that your tires are aired to the appropriate pressure for the tire. This will help prevent premature wear on the tire, as well as it will help keep the tire touching the roller. It doesn't have enough air. It's not going to touch the roller. So again, my tires add up, and I'm just going to tighten this until the roller meets the tire. Now it may look as though the tire is touching, but you want this to be relatively snug up against it. If it isn't, the tire will roll on the roller without the roller moving. So again, you want it to be tighter than that. As well, if it's not too tight, it may look like as though it's touching in all spots, but will slip in certain spots. So again, we want to snug this up good. We don't want it to be overly tight. Again, I will always test it by holding one side of if the trainer has a flywheel on it, or you could hold the roller itself. If the tire doesn't feel like it will slip through there, then you probably have it tight enough. Again, if you're holding the flywheel or the roller itself, and the tire is slipping without moving it, then it's too loose. So we'll bring it up, and if it feels snug, as well as I always give it a test, it shouldn't be so tight that you can't spin the wheel itself. So again, if you have it tight enough so it doesn't slip and it still freely spins, then you are doing good. The last thing to do is to slide the riser block under the center of the front wheel. Again, if you wiggle the wheel back and forth, it will center it, and now you're ready to ride.